In this sponsored tutorial, we're going to look at a new keyword tool called SEO Keyword Hound. It is SEO Yoast on steroids, but the two plugins work very well together. SEO Yoast allows you to maximize your on-page stats, your on-page optimization, and SEO Keyword Hound does the same, but it also allows you to crunch the data on your competitors so you can see what their on-page metrics are and what they're optimizing for and how well they've optimized for a keyword that you may be targeting and how you can optimize your site better. And it also allows you to keep track of your changes and your Google metrics, which means that over time you can see how using this keyword tool and improving your content has helped make your pages rank better and get more traffic. And I'm going to show you how it all works, and we're getting started right now. Hey, what's up? My name is Bjorn. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time here and you like WordPress tips and tricks and getting better at it, make sure you click subscribe and the bell notification icon so you don't miss any videos. And make sure you check out the Facebook group linked to in the description down below so we can all help each other get better at WordPress and create great things. And with that out of the way, let's check out the screen capture. I'll see you there. The SEO Keyword Hound tool by CreativeMinds is like SEO Yoast on steroids. They're highly complementary, but the SEO Keyword Hound tool allows you to compare your site's on-page stats to that of your competitors. And at the end of the day, when you're using SEO Yoast and you're getting all those check marks and everything, that's great for your site individually, but how does that stack up against your competition? You don't know with the SEO Yoast unless you're doing research manually. With Keyword Hound, you can crunch that data very quickly and be able to improve your on-page SEO beyond what your competitors have, and hopefully then through that rank better. So the page we're going to look at today is this one right here. The main keyword is contact form 7 CSS, and this is the whole post right here and some comments. As you can see, it's just code and then 2 videos and basically 4 sentences of written content. So we can improve the written content aspect of it for sure by adding more words, because if you see my keyword research playlist, you know I like to publish posts that are at least 1,000 words. 1,500 or 2,000 is even better. The more you can do, the longer you can go, the better, because the more keywords you can include. And this keyword tool, SEO Keyword Hound, is very complementary to that keyword strategy, which we're going to see in just a few minutes. So the whole point of SEO is to rank higher. So let's go to our other window here, incognito mode, where we search for contact form 7 CSS. The first result, contactform7.com. Video block, a bunch of my videos on here, so that's nice. But my website is not on the first page. If we go to page 2, it's my video again, another video, and then just below that is the blog post. And we see that the meta description could use a lot of work because that is not a great meta description. So there's a lot of aspects we can improve on this post, and we will. And we're going to improve those things today, and then in the future do a follow-up video where we see how the page has progressed and how it's improved over time. So the first thing we need to get started is the SEO Keyword Hound tool. So there's a link in the description down below that takes you to this website. And the plugin you want, if we head over to WordPress plugins, we want this one right here, currently 25% off. Click on that to open it. $59 for 2 sites right now. Click on Add to Cart. And then you add it to your cart, and you can pay with PayPal or any major credit card. Fill that form out, and you're going to have an account created for you. If you head to the customer dashboard after you purchase, you will have a downloads page where you can then click on this link to download the latest version of the plugin. And then on the licenses page, there is your license key. This you're going to need to copy and paste. So if we go back into our dashboard here, once you have that plugin, all you have to do is under plugins, go to add new. I just control click to open in a new tab. Click on upload plugin. Then you choose a file, and you choose the plugin file from your desktop, install it, activate it, just like with any other plugin. And then you have this new SEO Keyword Hound option down here. If we click on license, you can then paste your license key in here and activate it. And once you have it activated, there's a couple settings you'll want to change. Or not change, but a couple settings you want to set. So let's click on settings. Before we talk about that, you notice a video course link here. Let's just open that. I'll show you really quick a great added feature, and that is the SEO Keyword Hound video course, which is 80 minutes of video content that you can see listed here that basically walks you step by step everything you have to do to use this plugin properly and have success with it. So definitely check out that video course after you buy the plugin. And on this page, On the settings page, we want to go to API configuration, and we want to make sure that we have our Google Search API, Google Search Engine ID, Moz Access ID, and Moz Secret Key. There are videos in the tutorial that they created. If you go to the very bottom, Google API Setup, Moz API Setup, those two videos walk you through how to get these pieces of information. Really, all you do is click on these links, and you click a few buttons, and you copy and paste the information. And I also integrated Google Analytics, which was very simple. I log into my Google Analytics account, then I click on a link here, then I copy and paste the URL into a field. And then following that, we can click on the Keyword Analysis tab, and here's some settings where we can define how we want the plugin to interpret and calculate factors for on-page SEO. The only two I would recommend changing is just the first X number of words. I'm going to keep mine at 100, but you can go to 125 or 150. This is basically the first piece of content on your blog. In my case, for the post we're doing, it might not even be 100 words, what I currently have on there. But the first 100 words are usually the most important. That's where you want to have your keywords, and you want to define immediately for search engines and for readers what the post is about. And you do that for search engines by using keywords, and you do that for readers by using keywords and writing sentences and paragraphs that make sense. So this first 100 words is calculated as an important area for SEO tools. So make sure you set that to either 100 or 150 or 125, however long your intro usually is. The keyword density is defaulted to 6%. I usually change mine to 4. I like to err on the side of caution because Google is very sensitive to keyword spamming. So I like to keep this over 1% but under 4%. And this is a matter of preference. There's a lot of information out there that'll tell you don't even use keyword density. That's fine. There's a lot of information out there that'll tell you use X%, which is way too much or way too little, or over the years I've landed on between 1 and 4. That's a good rule of thumb. And the people who say you don't need keyword density, yes and no. They say you write content naturally, and if you know your topic, you're going to include keywords as you're writing the topic because you need to. Because the people who are reading it don't even know what you're talking about unless you have keywords in there. Like if you're talking about fly fishing, they don't know you're talking about fly fishing reels, which is a keyword, unless you write fly fishing reels in the article. So people will tell you don't need keyword density, but search engines and readers need keywords to understand what the article's about. So yes and no, you don't have to calculate keyword density, but you do have to make sure it's below a certain level and it's above a certain level. Otherwise, the keyword density is too thin and search engines can't determine what the content is about. I believe you do have to pay attention to keyword density. Sorry for my ramble, but I keep this between 1 and 4. All of the rest I keep as is. And then if we go to any post, like the post we have open here, and scroll down, we have our SEO Yoast meta box here, which we still use. And we have the comments there. And now we have 3 meta boxes from SEO Keyword Hound. One is SEO competitors, one is SEO keywords, and one is page events and metrics. The one we're going to set up first is SEO keywords, and this is going to be the keywords we're trying to target for this post. Then we're going to set up the competitors, which are websites who are ranking better than we are for the keywords we're trying to target. And then in the Google events and metrics meta box, we keep a log of changes we made to the site. And then we also keep track of changes in Google Analytics as time goes on to see how our post is improving, or hopefully improving, with the changes we've made. So I'm going to close a few tabs here. And we're going to start with the first part, which is SEO keywords. So we click on this little plus icon to add a keyword, but we actually have to have keywords to add. I know my main focus keyword for this post is contact form 7 CSS. Click on save. So we entered that keyword and discovered immediately it's in the URL. It's actually in the content as well and the title. We just need to save the post or update the post for that actually to be calculated. We're not going to do that just yet. We're going to add some more keywords first. And if you look at the keyword research videos, links in the description down below, those show you exactly how I do my keyword research, how I find keywords for brand new posts, how I find keywords for posts that are already getting traffic. And those are the keywords and those are the methods that I'm going to use to find more keywords right now. One of my favorite methods is going out to Google and using autocomplete. Whenever you're typing a search query, you see these suggestions down here. This is called autocomplete. So if we type in contact form 7 CSS. These keyword suggestions here have search volume and search results that Google believes are helpful. So all of these are potential keywords we can include on our page. So examples are contact form 7 template, contact form 7 CSS examples, contact form 7 CSS code, contact form CSS 7 style. So I'm going to add all of those. Let's add contact form 7 template, CSS template. Just going to copy that. Add another one, contact form 7 CSS examples. And then code. And then style. So that's a great way to get keyword ideas. If we click on any one of these, let's go back to page 1. Let's click on the first one and then go back. And now we see this little people also search for pop up. So people also search for contact form 7 2 columns, doesn't help. Contact form 7 style templates, that kind of helps because we have templates they can copy and paste for the CSS. Contact form 7 drop down CSS, that's definitely one. I can't copy paste that individual one because we do have that exact thing on that page, contact form 7 drop down CSS. So I'm going to add that one, drop down CSS. So I'm just going to stick with this because keyword research can take quite long. And I usually try to aim for 15 to 20 main keywords like I have here. And in fact, these aren't even the main keywords. These ones could be nested. So if we nest keywords, that means they are very closely related to one of them. So contact form 7 CSS, I would say, is the main keyword. And then all of these ones, because they have that exact phrase, contact form 7 CSS plus another word, those I think should be nested underneath that main one. All we do is hover on this gear, click on merge keyword, then we merge it with the main one we wanted to put it under. And now we have this little icon appear. I'm just going to merge the others before I show the icon. And now we have this icon. If we click on it, we see these other keywords nested underneath. These are alternate keywords, secondary keywords, whatever you want to call them. They're still important keywords we want to optimize for because they are getting some level of search volume because Google is suggesting them. And now we want to go out and do a very thorough keyword research campaign, which I go through in the other videos. So I'm not going to go through it here. Watch those other videos, come back to here when you're done. The other main keyword could be contact form 7 style, because that's not contact form 7 CSS. If we do a little really quickly, contact form 7 style, we see we have style templates, style checkbox, style code, style examples. So this is a different keyword because it's not contact form 7 CSS, it's style. So that could be another main keyword that we want to have incorporated on this page. And I'm going to go through and not bore you with that keyword research here. Watch the other video, like I said, and I'm just going to add more keyword content in here before we move on. So I found a bunch of keywords. Under each one, I've got a bunch of nested. And as I was working, it updated my main focus keyword and it tallies up the results from within the nesting. So if we open this nesting here, we see how many are included in the title. So I only have one of them, which is just contact form 7 CSS. It's in the title, it's in the headers. The headers are the H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. The content is the actual written content, so it's 2 times in there. The URL, we have 2 in total. One is contact form 7 CSS. One is contact form 7 CSS style. Both of those are in the URL. As you can see, the main keyword is included within this keyword. So I just added that extra word into the URL. Then within the first 100 words, which we defined earlier in the settings, we have that keyword appearing 2 times. We do not have it marked out, meaning bolded or emphasized on the page, and we do not have it as the title or alt text of any images on the page. And all of the keywords that we found, none of them are included on this page. 0. So that's something to work on, obviously. So I'm just going to save this post to make sure I don't lose any data. And I'm also going to add competitors right after that. So let's save this post first, or update the post, and then scroll back down. And now we're going to add competitors. So to add our first competitor, we're going to use the search term contact form 7 CSS. Head out to our incognito, head have the search term in here. So the very first is a real website that is ranking #1 for this keyword. And when I mean real website, it's actually like someone's blog or it's the actual plugins website. There are sites like Quora or Yahoo Forums or Ask, or there's a lot of sites that rank just based upon the domain's ranking power, not based upon the actual page's on-page factors. So I don't include those as competitors. I just include actual blog posts where people are trying to optimize for this keyword to rank highly for this keyword. So I'm going to copy this one and I'm going to click on plus competitor. I'm going to paste in the URL. Going to give it a name of contact form 7 blog, I guess. So I'm just going to leave the other settings for now. Just click on save to add them to this page. And now the plugin is going to do some work, crunch the numbers. Already pulled in how many words that post is. And we're going to go at some more competitors right now. So let's look up contact form 7 style. Actually, no, that's wrong. Let's look up more on this page. So elegant themes. This is an actual blog post, how to style the content, contact form 7. So I'm just going to copy the URL, right click on it, click on copy link address, come back in here, let's put that in here and call this elegant themes blog. Click on save. Let's get another one. WP beginner is a blog. Let's copy that. Add competitor. WP beginner, click on save, and I'm going to do one more. Let's get this guy. Magnet for blogging. So now we have 4 competitors for the specific keyword. I'm going to do the same process for the other ones. So we have a nice big list of competitors. These aren't necessarily competitors that are competing with you for product sales or things like that. It's just competitors that are competing with you for traffic and eyeballs in the search results. So I'm going to go through all these keywords in the same fashion to get more competitors. Then we're going to see what kind of data we can collect from them. I finished adding a set of competitors, and a lot of them were duplicates because a lot of these keywords are closely themed together. So a lot of these pages appeared for multiple keywords, and that's okay. And so we have a good set of competitors. We have 9 in total. I usually shoot for 10 to 20 just to make sure I've got a very thorough data set, but 9's pretty good. So I'm going to click on update just in case we need to. I'm not 100% sure if we need to update to save those changes, but I always err on the side of caution. I like to update too much instead of updating too little and losing data. Let's scroll back down, and I'm going to update the page authority and domain authority, which is through that Moz integration I showed you in the settings earlier. If we click on the gear, let's click on refresh Moz scores. Spinning icon shows it's working. It says there's an error, but it pulled the data in anyway. I'm going to just go through and refresh all these. All these competitors rank above wherever we were ranking. For some of the keywords, we actually ranked on the first page already. So for CS7 style, we are about halfway down the first page. So I always made sure to take competitors that are ranking higher than me wherever I happen to be. Now we go ahead and hover over the gear and click on compare all competitors. And then we're going to start seeing information appear down here. And on the left-hand side, the dark numbers, the black numbers, are our stats, and the smaller purple numbers are our competitors that we have listed up above. So this 3 out of 9, for example, here means 3 out of 9 of our competitors have the keyword contact form 7 style in the body content. So if we open this list here, we see here that contact form 7 style is the actual keyword that are on 3 to 9 of our competitors. This could have been showing other keywords as well and be an aggregate shown up there for the numbers. So it's always important to make sure you open your alternate keyword list and see which keywords specifically are showing up on your competitors. So by doing this, we can see a lot of places where we're lacking. So we're really close to ranking on the first page, so it might not take much for us to get there. And we can see that we are missing this keyword from our page that 3 to 9 competitors have in the content. 1 out of 9 has it in the title, 1 out of 9 has it in the first 100 words, 1 out of 9 has it in the images. CF7 style, our competitors have those. CF7 CSS and WordPress form CSS, our competitors don't have those. So that could potentially be keywords that we can then scoop up and rank for that they aren't even optimizing for. So that's why it's important to see this competitor comparison. And we can also compare our top competitors. We currently don't have any top competitors set, but if we click on any one of these, WP Beginner, for example, you can check this box. Is this a top competitor? Click on Update. Fills in this star, makes them a top competitor. Now we can compare specifically with just top competitors. Now you might wonder what makes a top competitor. I think if they're listed in the top 3 results of any keyword, they're a top competitor. And if they have a domain or page authority that's less than ours, but they're ranking higher than we are, that makes them a top competitor as well. So we're going to turn off WP Beginner as top competitor. I'm going to set our own page authority by clicking on Set PA, clicking on this little download button here. So we have a page authority of 26. So we set that as 26. Our domain authority we set in the settings. So let's go back to our settings over here. Let's go to Control click on settings to open that in a new page or a new tab. And right here in the plugin options, we have a domain authority, which is determined by Moz. They basically use a lot of factors to calculate what your domain authority is. And whether or not you follow that metric, it's at least something to compare with other websites. And Moz has been around for a long time, so there is some value, at the very least, to domain authority, maybe a lot of value, but there is some value in using this metric to compare your site to others. So if we just look up Moz domain authority, we should come to a page, I think it's called Site Explorer. Link Explorer, this is the one. I'll put a link to this in the description down below. But here, we enter a domain. Let's enter the domain of my website. Be a good one, right? And it will show us our domain authority. Domain authority of 31. A lot of other data to be seen there as well. That's the topic of another tutorial. But let's set the domain authority, scroll down to the bottom, click on Save Changes. Now we have a domain authority of 31, a page authority of 26. And like I said before, everybody on this list ranks higher than we do for a given keyword. So this one right here is pretty interesting because they rank higher than we do, but their page authority and domain authority is less than ours. So that could potentially be a top competitor because they're doing something. They're doing something with their on-page SEO, or they're backlinking, or something to make them rank higher when they potentially shouldn't be because their authority is lower. So either domain authority and page authority is a bunch of hocus pocus, or it's something real and these guys are doing something really well to do better than we are. Could have something to do with 34,000 words for the content. I haven't looked at this template or this blog post, but if it actually is that many words, holy smokes, that is a lot of words. So that's how we set up top competitors. Another way to find competitors, if you click on this gear icon, you can choose Find Competitors for Phrase. And this only works if you set up the Google Search API that I showed you earlier in the settings. And you can choose a phrase. Right now we have Contact Form 7 style set up in here. If you don't have any phrases showing up, just click on Edit Search Phrases. You can add them here. So you can add Contact Form 7 CSS. Click on Add. Click on Update. Go back to the gear. Find competitors for phrase. Now we have both of those options. Now this is going to do is going to pull in all the competitors for that phrase. It's not going to sift through them like we did. So we chose very specific ones when we were doing it manually. And here it's just going to pull them all in from the first page probably, and then have those as your competitors. It's a lot faster. So if you do it that way, it's a lot faster. And you end up wanting to remove some competitors. Just click on the checkbox, click on remove multiple by checking multiple. You can also remove them by hovering over the gear, clicking on Remove Competitor, and in that way you can add many more competitors quite quickly. And then we can compare individual pages to our page. So for example, CF7 style, just hover on the gear and then click on Compare Desktop. You can see this icon spinning here, means it's working. And we're currently comparing the desktop version of this page to our page. And we see their data popping up in the small purple numbers. Ours are the big black ones. And highlighted in yellow are what the plugin thinks are opportunities, where the competitor is doing a better job than we are. And they have an opportunity highlighted here, the 3. So if we open this little drop down to see the alternate keywords, we see that CF7 style, they have that in the content 3 times, and the plugin says, or plugin feels that is an opportunity for us to improve our content to make sure we include CF7 style at least 3 times into our content. And we can also see all the other information that isn't necessarily opportunities, but where the page is using keywords and how many of them. So for the density under contact form 7 style, they have 0.1%. They have it once in the title, once in the content, once in the first 100 words, once in an image. We should probably try to mimic that. And then you can go through and compare each competitor on an individual basis and then see where the opportunities are. This blog post and these keywords aren't the most high traffic keywords, so clearly I'm not showing a lot of data here. But when you're doing this on your own keywords, you may see a lot more information here. And right now what I'm going to do is improve my own content to make sure I include all these keywords. I'm going to try to include all of them at least once. So try to include every variation at least once. So I'm going to have to write quite a bit of content to make sure that having this contact form 7 as part of the keyword all the time doesn't sound spammy. So it's going to take a bit of work, but I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to do that now, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to analyze our page again to see how we did, see how we improved all these stats. And then we're going to go ahead and set a page event saying we did a bunch of edits. We're going to gather some metrics from Google Analytics, and then we're going to let it run, as in just leave the page alone, update it, leave it alone, and come back in a month or 2 and see how our metrics have changed based on the edits that we made. So I'm pausing this video. I'll be back in just a second. Updated the content, and you can see there's a lot more numbers going on here. We have, under the contact form 7 CSS keyword set, we have 7 in the headers, 1 in the title, 14 in the content, and they're all different. So it's not like I'm using this exact keyword. If you click to open all the alternates, we see which ones are actually being listed. So we do have contact form 7 appearing quite a bit, but then we have CSS code, CSS examples, CSS style, in the headings, in the content, in the URL. I could do with adding some more images. Maybe I'll get to that. For contact form 7 style, we have style appearing 5 times in the content, 5 times in the header. Checkbox is appearing, drop down, button, upload, radio buttons. And I didn't add every single keyword. It's not that you have to add every single keyword you find. If you can, that's great. But just understand that every keyword you find, if you want to add it to your page, you will likely have to go back and change other instances of different keywords or write more content. So if you're okay with that, I especially recommend the writing more content, making the post longer, more valuable, making it a one-stop. That's my ultimate goal for this post, is this is ultimately going to be the one-stop shop for contact form 7 CSS. That's my ultimate goal. And so over time, I do have to add more of these. I just couldn't get that all done today, but you can see that as you update the content, you then go to SEO Keyword Tools, click on Update Keyword Stats, and this keyword stats update right in here. Then you can go back and compare it to the one that we compared to earlier. Let's go to CSF7 style, compare desktop. Now it shows us here we had an opportunity before because they had contact form 7 style 3 times and we had it 0 times. But now that's no longer an opportunity because we have now matched what they had or what they currently have. So this is how you can edit your content, work on your content, and then compare it to your competitors. And that's why earlier I called this plugin SEO Yoast on steroids, because SEO Yoast helps you customize your content, and that's awesome. But then this plugin adds the other component, which is what are your competitors doing in search? And how can we optimize our content to better compete or outcompete theirs? So that's where this plugin is a huge help. And I'm just going to close up these meta boxes here, a little bit cluttered. And we're going to check out page events and metrics. Now that we've updated the content, it's time to look at the very last meta box. And this is where we track our metrics and improvement over time. So the first thing we're going to do is add an event by clicking on plus custom event. Auto adds the date. And I'm just going to write in here, added newly found keywords to the content and wrote more content. You can choose a label. We don't have any labels set right now. You can set those in the settings of the plugin. You have notifications enabled or disabled. If you enable it, someone's going to be notified that you made this change. So this would be something for people who you have working on your site. If you hire someone to do this work, You can enable these settings in the plugin settings, and then you'll get an email whenever an event is added. We click on save, and it has added our event right here. If we click on it, we can see what the event is. Then we're going to add page metrics. Click on plus page metrics. Click on Google Analytics. Actually, before we do that, it's going to open up the last 10 days of data. I'm going to change this to 30, so it gets the last month-ish of data. This time period defaulted to 10, but you can change it by going to Settings, Keyword Analysis, and then scroll down to Page Metrics Collection Period, and change this 10 to whatever number you want, and then that's how many days it will show in the report when you click on this link. So you click here, it's going to open this specific page in Google Analytics, so you can just copy and paste the data. Impressions, clicks, bounce rate, average position. So if you don't have Search Console connected to your Google Analytics, you may see a notification like this, in which case, all you do to connect them is click on this button. And if you don't have Google Search Console, I've linked to a tutorial up above that will help you set that up. Under Property Settings, scroll down, click on Adjust Search Console, click on Add, and then if you have web properties listed here, then it'll be listed here. I have it under a different account, so if I switch to my other Gmail account, I then have all my web properties here. I click on this one, it's the one I want. Click on Save, click on OK. Then it takes us into Search Console, where we don't have to do anything. If you come back here and we refresh, we have our site appearing here, and that should be good. Click on Save. Now if we go back to here, click on this link, and now we see our data, and up at the very top is the page that we're talking about. So we're just going to copy this information, 2,700 for our impressions. For clicks, 145, that's not a very good click-through rate. Bounce rate, 93, terrible bounce rate. And average position is 21. That's the average position for all instances that this page is showing up for any keywords at all. Click on Save, and then we have our Google Analytics stats here. And now we're going to let this page just exist on the website for at least a month, and then we're going to come back and see if these stats have improved. If they haven't, we're going to keep on adding more keywords, keep on optimizing it more, add more content, more keywords, and just keep going until these numbers improve. And just a quick overview, impressions are the number of times your page is seen in the search results. So it's good that you're getting impressions if you're getting them, which means your page is showing up. It's ranking somewhere for traffic. Clicks are the number of clicks you actually get. So your click-through rate is an indication of how good your title and your meta description and your page slug are in the search results. 5% is not great, but it's also not that bad. I mean, it's not terrible. I've seen worse, but I'd like to see that like 10, 20%. Bounce rate, you like to have a lot lower than this. And bounce rate measured by Google is basically if they just go to one page and then leave. So the page that I have, it has all the CSS code on it and the YouTube videos. They don't really have to go anywhere else on my website. And I also don't have any internal links on the post to take them somewhere else on the website. This bounce rate can be improved by A, better content, and B, encouraging visitors to check out a different part of the website to learn more. And the average position, this is an indication of how well your page ranks for the keywords Google thinks this page should rank for. And 21, it sounds terrible. It's actually not that bad. Because if you think about it, you can have your page ranking number 1 for 10 keywords, but then it ranks number 100 for 50 other keywords. So the average would not be that great. But your page is ranking number 1 for a lot of keywords. So this is kind of misleading, this average position. So I don't put too much weight on it. I check to make sure whether we're ranking well for the very important keywords, the main focus keywords on the site, and then the other ones, just ranking somewhere is great. So again, I don't put too much weight on that. But we're going to come back in 30 days at least and see if these have improved based on the changes we made to the post today. And our new post looks like this. It's got much more content than before. It's still not as much content as I'd like, but it's a lot more. I don't know if you recall the first one. You can see it at the beginning of the video, but there's a lot more text at the top. I've added headings in here, and I've added the keyword to the comments inside the code. So overall form CF7 styles. This is a keyword right here. Google picks that up because it's actually text on the page. So that's what I've done. I'm going to approve some more comments because there's a bunch to be approved, and there's keywords in the comments too. So here, for example, Karen wrote CSS code. Submit button. These are all keywords. Let me see. Custom CSS by Jay. CSS code. This is all text on the page. This is all stuff Google picks up and says, hey, this is about CSS code and probably about contact form 7 because that's mentioned a lot too. By adding comments or allowing people to leave comments and you approving them and replying to them, and even in your replies, you make sure that you don't keyword stuff them, but you make sure that you're topical and you have a keyword or two in your replies. All of that helps. It's adding more content to the page without you necessarily having to sit there and write more content all day. So I'll see you back here in at least 30 days for the follow-up to this video, and I'll see you then. So that's how it works. I hope this video helps you. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you click subscribe, then the bell notification icon so you don't miss anything. Make sure you check out the private Facebook group, a link to in the description down below. And next up is clicking one of these videos that popped up on the right-hand side so you can get even better at WordPress. And until next time, keep crushing it, and I will see you in the next video.